get started. Commissioner Thomas, you'll do the invocation.
Please join me. Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this time. We can just join our talents together. We ask you to just watch over us today and the decisions that we make for our county. Ask you to keep our county safe. Please bless our first responders and our military as they keep us safe each and every day. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thanks everyone for coming. If I can get approval to the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
there is one change to tab 10, which was provided to you all. There was just an additional order of development that needed to also be approved with the rezoning, if that's the board's determination at that time. And then I would like to point out there was an add-on item to schedule a workshop for right before the April 7th meeting. We'd like to add on to general business.
All right, I've got it. All right, motion with those two items?
Motion with those changes.
Yep. All right, you have a motion?
You need a second?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Have a second? All right. All in favor? Aye. Passes 4-0. All right, citizens to be heard, Miss Jessica. Mr. David Roddenberry. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's fine. Miss Lynn Arts. We don't mind working with you, Miss Lynn.
Good evening, Commissioners, and happy St. Patty's Day. Thank you to those of you who have communicated with me about the revised tree and landscape ordinance, and thank you especially to those who were willing to meet with me to discuss the problem. In this ordinance, we are trying to use incentives to encourage developers to preserve trees during commercial development. And staff has done a terrific job of strengthening and adding incentives to the ordinance. Unfortunately, we have a two-tiered survey. It actually rewards the developers that do the least. Those who are most likely to clear cut and least likely to preserve trees are rewarded with a cheaper tree survey. Now consider a developer who might be interested in earning tree credits by preserving signature trees in the 6 to 10 diameter range. That developer must voluntarily spend more money for a more thorough survey that includes signature trees smaller than 10 inches. That is a disincentive. And who is going to do that? Especially when they have no idea of what trees are where on the property. Further, it lessens the value of tree credits they might earn if they have to pay more to get them. So it weakens our tree credit incentives. I think all developers should have the same tree survey requirement. Clear cutters should not be rewarded with a cheaper survey. I offered one solution at your last meeting. I now, in a minute, will hand you 3 possible remedies. All 3 will eliminate the current disincentive and level the playing field for all developers. The middle option, number 2, is my preferred choice. Specifically, it will add 6 to 10 inch diameter signature trees to this tree survey. This does not mean that all or even a lot of 6 to 10 inch diameter trees will be surveyed. The most common species in this size are laurel oaks and winter oaks, and they will not be surveyed because they are not signature trees. This addition has the potential to identify some fairly old and very long-lived trees for which tree credits might be earned. The third option reduces the list of 6 to 10 inch diameter trees to an even smaller subset of 5 trees. One commissioner requested this, and David is going to explain why we selected that. At these sizes, these 5 species will be 25 to 50, perhaps even 70 years old.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. David Roddenberry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm David Roddenberry, Soppy, and I won't, of course, be covering the same ground that Ms. Arts did, but I will elucidate a little on one thing, as she said. First of all, let me commend you for taking a step forward, in my view, in strengthening the commercial development tree ordinance. It has been said of southern communities that you can judge a southern community on how it treats its children and its live oaks. So, sticking to the trees here, I'd be a little more, I'd expand a little more from the live oaks. I'd say how it treats its signature trees. We do have our signature trees, of course. So, Lynn Arts, in offering the alternative for the survey requirement for signature trees is down to 5. Those 5 are trees that are suggested because they are, I would say, the quintessential long-lived trees of this high middle part of Wakulla County that Crawfordville is on. They were, with the exception of the live oak, they were the part of the aboriginal tree cover here back all the way to the ancient times when the fires swept through here and everywhere else. So the live oak is suggested because it is a handsome tree and very long-lived. The other 4 are these: the southern red oak, which Crawfordville used to be graced by so many of. There's been attrition of them, and since it takes a long time for one to grow, as Lynn Arts was referring to, they don't get a chance to come back now. But southern red oak, very handsome and long-lived tree. You can see a few of them around. Post oak, ditto, handsome, long-lived, large tree. Mocker nut hickory, large, handsome, long-lived tree. These used to grace Crawfordville's streets, and returning them would be a signal accomplishment. And then the 5th one is the longleaf pine, which that tree that was an ecological anchor of 93 million acres in the south before it was decimated by timbering, and then in large part also by the suppression of fire. It's a fire-adapted tree. Well, it can't germinate, propagate itself when it's in the shade. So this was the basis for the 5 signature trees, if you were to pare this down 5. If I could answer any more about it, I'll be glad to try to.
Thank you, Mr. David. All right. Move into awards and presentations. Mr. Walter.
Thank you. It's my privilege to be here to represent the Animal Adoption Center and Animal Control for Wakulla County. I wanted to take this time to kind of bring you up to speed on some of the improvements that we've seen there. In these past couple of months, our Animal Adoption Center has now been painted inside and out. We have our food storage shed, which has been moved back to a more convenient location. It also has been painted to match up with our current existing theme that we're going with. We have the Animal Adoption Center has seen plumbing and electrical repairs and updates to the office to make better use of it. We also have our newly renovated animal control building that's been painted inside and out. We've added new siding to it. There's been new doors, plumbing, mechanical, electrical improvements to those, which will serve the animals very well during their period there. We have interior sheetrock and masonry, new paint inside, and new epoxy flooring. All of these were finished just in time as we had a large seizure of animals last month that you more than likely heard of. We currently have 69 animals in our care, 44 dogs and 25 cats that are being held at the Animal Adoption Center at the Animal Control Building. Our new Animal Control modular has seen a revamp as well, which will serve our animal control officers in the community. It's seen new paint inside and out. We have a new ramp, new lights and fans, new flooring, doors and sheetrock, as well as new vinyl skirting. So it's looking very, very good over there as well. We have new signage. Landscaping has been improved. There's been parking and driveway improvements, and we have new fencing and gates, as well as an awning installation. So the facility itself is in very good condition. It looks really nice, represents Wakulla County very well. We have our upcoming Adopt a Shelter Pet Event Day that's coming on March 29th, and we want to encourage everyone to be there for that. And I also want to talk with you about animal control and the adoption center, that they provide a vital service to the community and to the people of Wakulla County. Animal control works to provide public safety, but working together with those two units, we also provide a safe haven when circumstances change for loving pet owners. Things change. People pass away, unfortunately, and sometimes leave their pets behind. So animal control and the adoption center provide that haven for those animals to have a safe spot to land until either families can take those animals back in, or we can find a new home and be able to rehome them successfully. We take our job very seriously. We work hard to find new homes for the pets of Wakulla County. We strive to offer quality care, clean environments, and provide proper medical care and enriching environments for the animals. We also have tremendous community support, which our citizens are to be commended for. It's really been awe-inspiring to see our volunteer program grow. We've had a large number step up since these improvements that show up. These citizens show up daily. They walk dogs, they help us with cleaning, they bring us food, they provide us with donations, they help socialize animals, they work to find new homes, they help us to establish agreements with rescue and other groups to provide and find homes for these animals, and they are so deserving for commendation as well. I'd like to take this time to thank Melissa Corbett and the grants department, who was able to get us a grant from the Spark Good Association. This grant will allow us to provide free adoptions during our adoption event. It will also help us to provide good and quality medical care. And we want to invite all of you, as well as the community, to come down there. And that is being advertised as March 29th. So in accordance with that, I have a proclamation I'd like to ask the commissioners to consider. This is a Wakulla County proclamation for March 29th, 2025. We're asking you to declare it Adopt a Shelter Pet Day. Whereas Wakulla County recognizes the importance of animal welfare and the role that the adoptable shelter pets play in bringing joy, companionship, and love to individuals and families, and whereas the Wakulla County Adoption Center provides compassionate care, medical treatment, and shelter to numerous animals in need, working tirelessly to find them permanent and loving homes, and whereas pet adoption promotes responsible pet ownership, reduces the number of homeless animals in shelters, and helps combat pet overpopulation, whereas adopting a pet from a shelter not only saves lives, but also enhances the lives of adopters, contributing to emotional well-being and strengthening the bond between people and animals. And whereas Wakulla County encourages residents to consider adoption when looking for a new pet, and to support the local animal shelter through adopting, volunteering, and fostering, and whereas raising awareness about pet adoption can lead to more successful adoptions and lifelong matches between pets and animals, now therefore, we, the Board of County Commissioners of Wakulla County, Florida, do hereby proclaim March 29th, 2025 as Adopt a Shelter Pet Day, and encourage all citizens to consider adopting a shelter pet and support the efforts of the Wakulla County Animal Adoption Center in their mission to provide care and find forever homes for the Wakulla animals in need. So we respectfully ask that as a board that you adopt this as a Adopt a Shelter Pet Day.
Can I get a motion? So moved.
Consent.
Oh, was it, okay, it's under consent then, yep.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Real quick, I got a question for you real quick, Walter. Have you already adopted some of the pets? I know you took quite a few pets in on that last case. Have you moved some out? Well, maybe not adoption, but fostered them out? Do you have some that's been fostered already?
They currently all remain under our control. We originally confiscated 18 dogs and 2 cats. That's grown now to 23 dogs as we have new puppies there as well. But they're currently under our control because the county doesn't have legal possession of them at this time.
Okay.
That has been filed for, and it's to be heard April 14th.
April 14th, okay. And how many volunteers do you have now? Do you know?
We have about 24 at this point, and we have 12 of those that are regular. We know when they will be there and what they'll do and how long they'll stay. So all of them, even the smallest moment that you can spend with the shelter that you can come help, it all helps.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Miss Samantha Kennedy.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I appreciate this opportunity to present this proclamation. This is the Wakulla County Proclamation declaring March 2025 an Extension Living Well Month. Whereas the health and well-being of the family are crucial to the functioning of the nation and to providing adults and youth with the necessary skills and knowledge to help them achieve the best quality of life possible. And whereas physically, psychologically, socially, and emotionally, strong families provide strength for future generations. And whereas Extension is a nationwide educational network through the land-grant universities, funded cooperatively through the U.S. Department of Agriculture, state governments, and county governments. And whereas the University of Florida IFAS Extension and Wakulla County initiatives in nutrition, healthy lifestyles, food safety, financial management, parenting, and environmental health enable citizens to gain knowledge and skills to lead full and productive lives. And whereas Extension offers educational workshops, seminars, publications, and websites to help families and individuals, farm businesses, and communities. And whereas the designation of Extension Living Well Month is a fitting tribute to the National Extension Association of Family and Consumer Sciences professionals and local staff who provide education that is critical to the quality of life of adults, youth, and families. Now, therefore, the Wakulla County Board of County Commissioners do hereby proclaim the month of March 2025 as Extension Living Well Month in Wakulla County and encourage our residents to take advantage of the educational opportunities that Family and Consumer Sciences educators of the University of Florida IFAS Extension offer within the community. Passed and duly adopted in regular session the 17th day of March, 2025.
Any questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Greg James.
Thank you, Commissioners. Next year, July 4th, 2026, is America's 250th birthday. There is a time capsule that was buried on the courthouse lawn in 1976, and it is to be opened next year on July 4th. And so I am requesting that you consider putting together a planning committee and making this a special event. I don't know how we would need to coordinate it because I know that Stop Shopping normally does a big 4th of July event every year. It falls on a Saturday. I'd be happy to be a part of that committee. I believe Mr. Dodson from Wakulla Bank left a letter, and his daughter has that now. That is to be read at the opening. And we have an ordinance, if we need to spend any money, ordinance 23-01, that allows for the expenditures of some funds. We would have to put that in the board's budget for next year and coordinate that with county staff if we were to need to spend any funds. I think that covers all the points. I just would like you to consider creating a planning committee for that event. And then finally, just as a side note, we just celebrated Wakulla's birthday on March 11th, 2026. That was our 182nd birthday. There is a second time capsule, and I'm mainly putting this out there for the public because I may not be here for it. But in March 11th, 2043, the 50-year time capsule is to be open celebrating Wakulla's 200th birthday. And so I don't know how many of you are going to be here in 2043, but I just want to let you know we have 2 time capsules, and we need to open one next year on July 4th on the courthouse lawn. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kinsey Miller.
Really hard to top time capsules. I'm just saying. Exactly. It's really exciting stuff. Actually, one of my first days, I got to visit the courthouse, and Greg went around and showed me those. So really exciting that we actually get to open those now. So good evening, commissioners, and I'm really excited to say that our fiscal year report for 23-24 is actually ready, and we're going to be unveiling that tonight as soon as I'm done speaking here with you and going over a little bit of an overview with some sneak peeks. It'll go live and be promoted across the county. So with that being said, this report showcases the strategic investments that are made in public safety, infrastructure, and really show our commitment to improving the quality of life here in Wakulla County. While I touch on some of the key highlights, I encourage everyone to explore the report on their own. It'll be hosted on mywakulla.com. You'll see it right there on the front page. Super easy to find. So with that being said, I'm going to go over some of the key achievements and some of the things that you'll find in this report. To start out with public safety and infrastructure investments, we secured over $20 million in grants, including funding for a new EOC, which will be Category 4 hurricane rated to ensure continuity of operations during disasters. We also received made a $2.1 million investment for a new St. Mark's Fire Rescue Station, improving response times and providing better protection for homes and businesses in our area. Our $11 million emergency radio system is almost complete, improving first responder communication and reliability countywide. Moving into septic to sewer and environmental protection, the county's leading the way in water quality protection with our ongoing septic to sewer conversions. The Otter Creek Wastewater Treatment Facility expansion will increase our ability to remove nitrogen pollutants, securing a cleaner and healthy environment for generations to come. And the Wakulla Sands Golf Club is playing a role in conservation as well, recharging over 170 million gallons of water back into our aquifer just in the last year. So as far as tourism and economic growth, Visit Wakulla's marketing reached over 3 million people, boosting our reputation as a destination for outdoor adventure and cultural experiences. And the new Wakulla Sands Golf Club officially opened this year, selling 3,400 rounds of golf and starting out with 124 player development cards, so essentially members of the course. And then community engagement and services, the Public Information Office kept residents informed, sending over 131,000 emails directly to them over the past fiscal year and generating 3.2 million social media impressions in 1 year. And the public library held over 42,000 visitors in 1 year, with their trick-or-treat event capping out at about 8,000 people, more than they've ever seen. So these are just a few of the highlights from this year's report, but like I said, I encourage everyone to go and read that on mywakulla.com. It'll also be posted on Facebook, so however you find it, we hope you enjoy it. And just to tell you, there's a lot of work that went in with your staff. Each one of your directors, managers, officers had a hand in this, and so I really want to thank them for working with us to make a product that we can all be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Man, a lot of presentations. All right, let's move into consent.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve. Have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0. All right, general business.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This item is a request for the board to select and appoint a citizen at large member and approve a resolution appointing and reappointing members to the Recreation Advisory Committee. Being reappointed would be Melanie Cordell for District 1, Billy Jones for County Commission District 2, and Derek Franklin for District 3. The solicitation was issued and we had 5 responses to the citizen at large with interest for the citizen at large position. And so tonight we would ask you to select one of those members and appoint and reappoint the previously mentioned members.
I have a recommendation, unless someone else does.
Go for it, sir.
Go ahead, sir. Okay. I make a motion that we reapprove the returning members and we appoint Ms. Caitlin Linville as the at-large person.
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4.
A lot of good names on there. It's always hard to exclude other people, but she's young and I think she'll give a needed voice on that committee.
Very good. Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. This agenda item requests board approval of a resolution authorizing the submission of grant applications to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission's Florida Boating Improvement Program, seeking funds for the improvement to the Newport Boat Ramp, Masha Sands Boat Ramp, and Wakulla River Boat Ramp at US 98. Authorizing the county administrator as a signatory for the grant applications and authorizing the grant manager to administer the grants, and finally the approval of a transmittal letter prioritizing the applications. Wakulla County's submission of 3 grant proposals to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission's Florida Boating Improvement Fund for the following projects. Newport Boat Ramp, requesting funding for design of a new concrete boat ramp and a new floating dock. Masha Sands Boat Ramp requests construction funding for the dredging of the existing canal leading into the boat ramp. And finally, Wakulla County River Boat Ramp at US 98 Lower Bridge, requesting construction funding for a new floating dock, and improvements to the parking are also being evaluated and are proposed to be included in this application if feasible. The total funding request from FWC's Florida Boating Improvement Fund for these 3 projects is $1,547,500. And while a match is not required for these applications, providing a match does make the application rank higher during the evaluation process. The county is proposing a 5% match or $77,375 from the Florida Boating Improvement Fund to meet that match. The grants are due to the agency on or before April 8th, 2025, and if these projects are awarded by Florida FWC, the agreement and a resolution and budget amendment will be brought back to the board for approval. Staff is recommending approval of this item.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a second. We got a citizen to be heard, Mr. Joe DeLuca.
Thanks. Accustomed as I am to speaking to you folks. The boat ramp, great. As long as you're on the island, why don't you take a look at the beach? We lost all our sand from the last storm. It's almost impossible to navigate to the south because the beach is covered with felled trees. We've got almost a mile of beach, and about a third of it is not usable right now. So if you guys could see your way clear, we're sending some maintenance people over there and maybe cutting them up and getting rid of the logs, it'd help. And also, I don't know if we have anybody in maintenance that does any type of cleanup, but aside from a couple of us old guys, there's nobody cleaning up anywhere, any place. We still got Michael debris in the gutters on the side of the Masha Sands, where it's actually taken down somebody's fence, and all that stuff needs to be taken out of there. But, I mean, there's a lot of work to be done at Masha Sands Beach, so it would be appreciative if we could get some kind of help. And it would also, we're on almost our 7th year of that pier. So, I'd like to at least get an update to the residents as to where we stand, where's the money, when we're going to start, what's going on. So from all we understand is the money's been approved. We're just waiting for the
Red tape.
Yeah, so.
FEMA.
It would be nice if somebody would go on Facebook or what have you and put something out there so everybody was aware instead of, just guessing.
Yes, sir.
All right?
I hear that's coming.
It's coming.
His part.
Do what?
The beach fills up so fast.
Yeah, well, you can't
I
get,
know it's been redone,
yeah,
you still need room for about 20 more automobiles.
yeah. I mean, but, it gets pretty crowded. And, also the gravel where the boat ramp is, it spills over onto the walkways. And, somebody with a big wide broom once a week, might help.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
This is the add-on items for the committee, for the commission.
Did you guys vote?
No, we didn't.
Sorry, I apologize.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0.
Okay, sorry about that. Here we go. This agenda item requests board approval to schedule a workshop on April 7th at 2 p.m. to discuss Project Boomerang project safety. Staff is recommending holding a workshop to provide the information on the history of these efforts that have led to the potential of creating a public-private partnership for manufacturing facilities in the county, the status of the grant applications, and details on the proposed partnerships. Staff is requesting approval to schedule the workshop April 7th at 2 p.m. to discuss these two projects.
I would sure, but I think you can vote on the scheduling.
Do I need to recuse myself from this, or can I vote on the schedule for project safety?
I'm not sure I know what the nature of the conflict is, but it is just scheduling. So.
Okay.
We won't be making a decision
Yeah,
at this point.
Yep.
I mean, if you're more comfortable, just, you still have 3 board members.
Yeah, I'll just recuse myself to make it not a conflict. All right.
I move approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Okay.
Aye.
3-0. All right.
Forget to fill out your.
Yeah, I will. Commissioner agenda items, Ms. Summer?
Planning and zoning.
Oh, I'm sorry. Planning and zoning.
Okay. Let me scroll down. First item, tab 10 is an application for change of zoning R2414. This is a change of zoning from ag to PUD on a parcel of land containing just over 31 acres located on the west side of Crawfordville Highway, abutting the northern boundary of the Golden Gate Forest subdivision. In accordance with the code, each commission member needs to disclose any ex parte communications they may have received. Commissioner Russell?
None.
None.
If there's anyone here who's going to provide any information regarding this application, please stand up to be sworn. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
As Heather indicated, this is an application for change of zoning R24-14, which requests board approval of a change of zoning from ag to PUD. The parcel is currently just over 31 acres and located on the west side of Crawfordville Highway, abutting the northern boundary of the Golden Gate Forest subdivision. The future land use designation for the property is Rural 3. The current zoning is ag, and the proposed zoning is PUD, which would allow for 23 single-family detached dwellings and 2 commercial lots abutting Crawfordville Highway. The property is currently undeveloped and located in the X flood zone. Staff is recommending option 1 for approval.
Motion to approve.
We had a motion?
Second.
Have a second? Any questions? Go ahead.
Can I just have, Mr. Chairman, may I just ask a couple questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Just verifying, no written complaints or verbal complaints in regards to rezoning?
We have not had any complaints.
And proper notice was given,
Yes, ma'am.
and it's all within the comp plan and the land development code?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, and also, one dwelling per acre, is that right?
The land use would allow for 1 dwelling per acre. However, with a PUD, they do have to submit a conceptual plan, which has provided for 23 single-family units. So it is coming in at less density than is allowable.
And this item tonight, you're being asked to approve both the rezoning and the development plan, which is included in your materials, and there was a supplemental order also attached.
Thank you.
All right, we got a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Passes 4-0.
This agenda item requests board approval to conduct a public hearing and adopt an ordinance amending policy 2.3.1 of the comprehensive plan public school and facilities element and policies 1.8 and 7.1 of the comprehensive plan capital improvements element. Florida statutes requires the county to annually review its capital improvements element for needed updates to its 5-year schedule of capital improvements. Staff has prepared amendments to the two elements which will require one public hearing before the Planning Commission and one before the Board of County Commissioners. On February 10th, 2025, the Wakulla County School Board adopted their revised 5-year capital improvement schedule entitled the Educational Facilities Work Program. This program adoption date is included in both elements of the comprehensive plan and needs to be updated. Staff has prepared the necessary revisions to include the updated program adoption date into the comprehensive plan. Staff also reviewed the 5-year schedule of needed capital improvements in the capital improvements element. Updates to the schedule have been prepared and include, but are not limited to, the updates of financial amounts for several projects, the addition of new projects, and the removal of completed projects. Staff is recommending option 1 for approval.
So moved. Have a motion?
Second?
Have a second? Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0.
This agenda item requests board approval, schedule and advertise public hearings to consider adopting an ordinance amending section 6-20 of the Land Development Code pertaining to the setbacks for accessory use swimming pools. Under the current provisions of the Land Development Code, all accessory structures must meet a minimum setback of 5 feet from both the side and rear property lines. The one exception to this regulation is for pools being used as an accessory use. In order to meet the provisions of section 6-20, the pool and its surrounding structure must meet a minimum setback of 10 feet from the rear property line. To maintain consistency for accessory use structures, the proposed ordinance simply lowers the required setback in section 6-20 from 10 feet to 5 feet. Upon approval to schedule and advertise, it is anticipated that the first public hearing before the Planning Commission will take place on April 14th, 2025, and the final public hearing would take place before the BOCC on April 21st, 2025. Staff is recommending option 1 for approval.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion?
Second.
Have a second? And all this is doing, Brandon, is just making it the same as every other setback?
Yes, sir. Just making it consistent across the board for accessory structures.
Yes, sir. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-1. Now we can go to Commissioner agenda items. Sorry about that, Summer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That's fine. In Commissioner Lawhon's absence tonight, he requested that I bring his agenda item forward, which is a request for approval of a letter of commitment for the Wakulla County Coalition for Youth grant application for Sober Truth in Preventing Underage Drinking Act. This is a letter of commitment. It was previously approved by the board last year to work with the Coalition for Youth to initiate this program and host educational opportunities and campaigns with relation to staying sober and preventing underage drinking.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion? Second. Have a second? I think Valerie would beat you to the punch. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-1.
Thank you.
County Attorney.
Nothing additional.
County Administrator.
Nothing additional this evening.
Any other citizens to be heard, Ms. Jessup? Thank you. Mr. Kyle Barnes? Kyle Barnes?
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Kyle Barnes. I am coming to you today to advocate for the youth of Wakulla County. I'm the current president of Wakulla Girls Softball Association, which is the only recreation softball program in all of Wakulla County. From February to November, you can find me on a field, engaging with our community, coaching, umpiring, or serving concessions at the Medoc Rec Park. As I enter my 6th year serving on our board of directors, I wanted to reflect on where we started and bring you all up to speed. 6 years ago, we had 71 registered players using 3 fields at the county rec park. Fast forward to present day, we have the same 3 fields with 154 registered players, which is a record turnout from our fall season. We actually added 32 players over winter break, which is the largest increase we have ever seen in my time on the board of directors. We're all in need of your help. WGSA is one of the 3 nonprofit associations that rent the fields from Wakulla County. The others being Wakulla Youth Baseball, Wakulla County Youth Football and Cheer, and even a private school varsity team at Wakulla Christian. We all use the same facilities there. Now, I, for one, am all about the growth of the county and our program. But this is a direct threat towards what we have tirelessly worked so hard to build, if I don't have any room to put the kids. So at this point, we would love to grow the association further and further and add a 4th division and look at providing more for the youth of this county, but we're out of room. We've all seen the growth of housing developments and retail outlets. And with more and more youth coming into our county, there's a significant lack of entertainment for our kids. I can say without a doubt that our program has positively impacted lives of our youth and kept them out of less desirable paths. But don't take my word for it. I want to personally invite you all out to engage with our community and see for yourselves. Our opening ceremony starts at 9 a.m. on Saturday, March 29th. All teams will be playing that day. We'll have games from 9:30 that morning to about 3 o'clock that afternoon. I would love to see every one of y'all there at the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other citizens, Ms. Jessica? All right. Commissioners, discussion? Ms. Valerie? None? Ms. Quincy?
None.
Mr. Ralph?
None tonight.
None? All right, I have none. I can get an adjourn.
Oh, my God. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to, I have a motion. Thank you.
I got a long time to say that one. You let it drag out. Motion.